Donovan Mitchell.
Just not thus far. Oh, Donovan Mitchell breaks the clinch.
Evan Mobley.
Right pass back. Hero. Oh my word.
Darius Garland.
Garland over the timeline. Garland for the win.
And now DeAndre Hunter. The Cavs look scary as they continue to dominate the Eastern Conference. They have one of the most exciting young cores in the league, and their new offense under Kenny Atkinson is unstoppable. Does this team finally have what it takes to make it to the NBA Finals, or are we looking at yet another second round exit?
It's great to be in the playoffs, but when we started this and when I came here and when we signed, like this wasn't the playoffs, wasn't the goal. It's just another step, another step on our journey.
Cleveland's young core are phenomenal, and these are their stories. We start with Donovan Mitchell.
Shot by Donovan Mitchell.
Limitless three-pointers and ankle-breaking moves.
Oh my, and Mitchell with the move.
It's hard to watch Donovan Mitchell fly around the court and not be entertained. He has been instrumental in the Cavs being at the top of the Eastern Conference standing. From constant rumors about him wanting to leave to a bigger team to now being the face of the Cavs franchise, this is the story of Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was born on September 7th, 1996 in Elmsford, New York. He was raised by his mother, Nicole, a school teacher who instilled in him the importance of hard work and resilience. His father, Donovan Sr., worked in the front office for the New York Mets, which gave young Donovan early exposure to professional sports environment. However, his heart was always in basketball, despite his love for baseball as well. Mitchell's educational path began at Greenwich Country Day School in Connecticut, where he was awarded a scholarship. Transitioning from a local public school to this prestigious private institution was challenging, as he adapted to an environment where most students came from affluent backgrounds. Despite these challenges, Donovan thrived academically and athletically. He later attended Canterbury School in New Milford, Connecticut for his freshman and sophomore years of high school, where he played both basketball and baseball. Unfortunately, his baseball career ended after a severe injury during his sophomore year, leading him to focus solely on basketball. Mitchell's passion for basketball grew as he watched NBA stars like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade.
He's a man on the basketball floor. He may be a kid in the NBA, but he's a man on that court, man. He gets it. Some players come along and they're special.
Wade in particular became his idol because of his two-way playing style, which Mitchell has often been compared to in his own career. In 2010, he was present at the Boys and Girls Club of Greenwich when LeBron James announced his decision to join the Miami Heat, a moment that left a lasting impression on him. Wade's two-way playing style in particular became a model for Mitchell's own game, leading to frequent comparisons between the two players. For his junior and senior years, he transferred to Brewster Academy in Wolfboro, New Hampshire, where he continued to excel in basketball. At Brewster, Mitchell's talent began to flourish, contributing to the team's impressive 34-1 record and a national prep championship in 2015. Despite these achievements, he was not heavily recruited, with ESPN ranking him 43rd in his class. Unlike many future NBA stars, he wasn't ranked as a 5-star player, and his skill set went largely unnoticed by top Division I program. But Mitchell had a lot of self-belief. He had a relentless work ethic, and it paid off as he was eventually recruited by the University of Louisville. It was at Louisville where his athleticism, defense, and scoring ability caught the eyes of scouts. His nickname Spider actually came from his ability to steal the ball due to his quickness and long arms. Yes, it might be hard to believe now given how amazing of a scorer he is in the NBA, but in college, Mitchell was known more for being a defensive beast. In his freshman season, Mitchell played in 31 games, starting in 5, and averaged 7.4 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game. He demonstrated his potential early on, scoring 14 points in his collegiate debut against Samford, tying for the 8th highest debut performance in Louisville history. Throughout the season, he showcased his athleticism and defensive capability, contributing significantly off the bench and earning increased playing time as the season progressed. Mitchell's sophomore year was a breakout season. He started 33 out of 34 games, leading the team in scoring with an average of 15.6 points per game. Additionally, he contributed 4.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 2.1 steals per game, leading the Atlantic Coast Conference ACC in steals. His performance earned him first-team All-ACC honors and a spot on the ACC All-Defensive Team, highlighting his two-way playing ability. One of his best games came against Syracuse, where he scored 25 points, showing that he wasn't just athletic, but he could get buckets. Following his stellar sophomore season, Mitchell declared for the 2017 NBA Draft. His decision was influenced by a significant improvement and the recognition he received during the season. Mitchell was selected 13th overall by the Denver Nuggets, but was immediately traded to the Utah Jazz. Utah were wowed by Mitchell's explosiveness and lockdown defense. They actually saw him as a really good role player, rather than a future all-star. Oh, how quickly he has shattered those expectations. During his rookie season, Mitchell led the Jazz with an impressive 20.5 points per game and won the slam dunk contest during All-Star Weekend.
He's a player. Kid got a lot of game, and and they've been riding that wave all season since they realized what they actually got.
Despite leading all rookies in scoring and being named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team, Mitchell did not win Rookie of the Year, coming in second to Ben Simmons. This actually led to some beef between the two, with Mitchell wearing a hoodie that defined the term rookie as a way of throwing shots at Ben Simmons, who was technically in his second season. Didn't help that Ben Simmons also threw some shots, stating in an interview with Chris Haynes that no other rookies had caught his attention. This explains this Mitchell tweet from April 2018. Oh, how differently their careers have gone since then. Anyways, despite not winning the award, Mitchell had a fantastic season, as he not only helped the Jazz secure a playoff spot, but he led the team to defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder in a shocking upset in the first round. Rookie Mitchell scored 171 points in the series, including 38 points in Game 6, to defeat a Thunder team led by Russell Westbrook and Paul George. Even though they lost in the next round, that series was a glimpse into Mitchell's potential. This guy could be a superstar. The next year, Mitchell continued elevating his game in the regular season. He had 5 30-point games just in January, then got 46 points in the regular season finale as the Jazz defeated the Nuggets. Unfortunately, the Jazz lost in the first round to the Rockets. While Mitchell struggled in the first 2 games, being held to just 19 and 11 points respectively, he scored 34 points in Game 3 and 31 points in Game 4. Not the best series from him, but all of his averages were actually higher than the year before. 2020 was really the year where Mitchell rose to the level of superstar. He was named as an all-star for the first time in his career. He was consistently scoring for fun and had transformed into one of the most lethal offensive weapons in the league.
Like Chuck says, it's always the next level. He's really good, but it's time for him to go to that great level.
There was no better example of his than his battle against Jamal Murray in the bubble. On August 17th, 2020, Mitchell scored 57 points in a 125-135 overtime loss to the Nuggets, the third most in playoff history. 6 days later, he scored 51 points to join Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson as the only players to score 50 or more points twice in a playoff series. One of the craziest playoff performances I have ever seen. Donovan Mitchell is one of those players who is impossible to guard when he is heating up. Although the Jazz ended up losing to the Nuggets, Mitchell carried the momentum of that series with him into the new season. Thanks to his incredible offense, along with Rudy Gobert's defending, the Jazz secured the best record in the NBA. Mitchell was named an All-Star again as he solidified himself as one of, if not the best shooting guard in the league. The Jazz were better this time around as they effortlessly beat the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round in just 5 games. In the next round, Mitchell went crazy against the Clippers. In Game 1, he scored 45 points in a 112-109 win. He followed that performance with a 37-point performance in Game 2, but that momentum came to a halt. Despite not having Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers came back from being down 2-0 in the series to reverse sweep the Jazz. Mitchell was questionable with an ankle injury, but he was still able to put up 39 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in Game 6. Sadly, it was not enough as the Jazz found themselves eliminated once again.
You want to be good or you want to be great? That's all. That's the only question I ask these youngsters. You want to be good or you want to be great?
This loss was a huge setback for the franchise. To lose to a Clippers team without their best player after being the #1 seed was a huge disappointment. Mitchell himself said that this is going to eat at me. Even when I go to the grocery store, I'm going to be thinking about it. Reports came out later that Gobert and Donovan Mitchell were at each other's throats. Mitchell publicly denied any tension in the locker room, but rumors spread that the situation was a lot worse than what the public was being led to believe. Well, after another playoff disappointment in 2022, the Jazz decided to trade both Mitchell and Gobert to rebuild. On September 1st, 2022, Mitchell was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Ochai Agbaji, 3 first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. It was a huge pickup for a Cavs team that was looking to take their team to the next level. Mitchell's arrival in Cleveland marked a turning point for the franchise. He immediately elevated the team to contender status, joining a young core that included Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. The squad was young, so young actually that Mitchell has quickly become a veteran figure, but the Spider was exactly what they needed. Someone with experience, someone who can shine when the lights are the brightest. And Mitchell did exactly that. He averaged 28.3 points per game as he was selected as an All-Star again. But that wasn't even his best moment. He scored 71 points in an overtime win over the Chicago Bulls. It was the highest scoring game for any NBA player since Kobe Bryant's 81-point game in 2006.
Firsthand, like to come to another team and step in the way that he has, it's really impressive.
Mitchell became the 7th player in NBA history to score 70 or more points in a game, and the first to do so with at least 10 assists.
We just have a dynamic superstar like Don super cool just to have in a small market city like Cleveland.
But despite these moments, the postseason followed the same script. Mitchell playing out of his mind, but being let down by his teammate. In his playoff debut for the Cavs, Mitchell got 38 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists in a 101-97 loss. In Game 2 of the Cavaliers' first-round playoff series against the New York Knicks, Mitchell recorded a playoff career-high 13 assists in a 107-90 win to tie the series at a game apiece. Then in Game 5, Mitchell got 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, but that wasn't enough as the Cavs were eliminated. Given the fact that the Cavs had won 51 games in the regular season, it was seen as a disappointment to lose in just 5 games to the 5th seed Knicks.
There are some people whose names I will not bring up because I want to be nice, that every time they sitting on a bench looking like like male models and stuff like that, they tick me off to no end, okay? Because it's just, they will run to the bank to get there, make sure their check is in their account, but they can't get on a basketball court. That's not Donovan Mitchell.
At the same time, though, the team was young and inexperienced outside of Mitchell. The next season, the Cavs signed Max Strus, who had just helped the Miami Heat reach the NBA Finals. There was hope that Strus would help create more space for Mitchell with his shooting and add experience to a young team. Despite dealing with injuries among key players, the Cavaliers finished the regular season with a 48-34 record, securing second place in the Central Division and the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference playoff. Mitchell was voted an All-Star, again cementing his status as one of the league's elite guards. He averaged 26.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 6.1 assists, whole shooting 46.2% from the field. In fact, it was Mitchell scoring and playmaking that salvaged what could have been a bad season given the injuries the Cavs were dealing with. In the postseason, he went crazy again, scoring 50 points against the Magic in Game 6. He scored more than half of Cleveland's points, and they still lost. Luckily for Cavs fans, Mitchell is clutch, so he put together another fantastic performance in Game 7, getting 39 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists as he sent the Cavs to the Eastern Conference semifinal. Fun fact, that was actually Cleveland's first playoff series win without LeBron James since 1993. The next round, the Cavs lost to the Boston Celtics, but that was expected. Boston were more ahead in their project, and it was shown by the fact that they won the whole thing. But that loss put more pressure on Mitchell's contract situation. Basically, from the moment he stepped foot in Cleveland, the national media kept pushing the narrative that Mitchell was only going to stay with the franchise for a short period of time before moving to a bigger market team. Given that he was born in New York, the talk was constantly about him joining the Knicks. Well, Mitchell silenced all those talks by signing a contract extension on July 7, 2024. It's clear that he is happy on the Cavs, and it showed. Just look at his performances against the Bucks, where he made the game-winning bucket in a 114-113.
Mike salts away every single second. Trent Jr. pokes it away. Mitchell for the lead with .3.
The big four of Mitchell, Garland, Allen, and Mobley has been terrific and should only get better given how young they are. Mitchell himself has already developed from being a good player to a true leader. He is the face of the franchise, the one you want with the ball when the clock is ticking down. Will this finally be the year that Mitchell makes it to the NBA Final? Only time will tell. Then we have Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's rise in the NBA has been one of the most intriguing storylines in recent years. Since being drafted 3rd overall in the 2021 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers, he has quickly established himself as one of the league's most promising young big men. His development has been driven by his elite defensive instinct, versatility on both ends of the floor, and a skill set that suggests he could be the future face of the Cavaliers. Mobley was a 5-star recruit coming out of Rancho Christian School in California, widely regarded as one of the best prospects in his class. In his junior year, he averaged 19.2 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 4.7 blocks per game. His performances earned him the California Gatorade Player of the Year. In his senior year, his stats improved to 20.5 points, 12.2 rebounds, and 5.2 blocks per game. He was even averaging 4.6 assists. He repeated as the California Gatorade Player of the Year, joining Drew Holiday as the award's only 2-time winners. Additionally, he was named the Morgan Woon National Player of the Year. Because of these performances, he was one of the top 3 players in the 2020 recruiting class, and at one point, he was even ahead of Cade Cunningham. On August 5th, 2019, he committed to play college basketball for USC over offers from UCLA and Washington, among other major NCAA Division I programs. Mobley became one of the highest ranked players to join the program. Choosing to play under head coach Andy Enfield at the University of Southern California, Mobley made an immediate impact. In his debut game on November 20th, 25th, 2020, he scored 21 points and grabbed 9 rebounds in a 95-87 overtime win against the California Baptists. On March 11th, 2021, at the Pac-12 tournament quarterfinals, he posted a career-high 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 blocks in a 91-85 double-time overtime victory over Utah. As a freshman, he was averaging 16.4 points, 8.7 rebounds, 2.8 blocks, and 2.4 assists per game. Mobley was named the Pac-12 Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year. Mobley became the second player from a major conference to sweep the trio of awards: Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year, with the first player to have done this being Anthony Davis in 2012. On April 16th, 2021, Mobley declared for the 2021 NBA Draft, foregoing his remaining college eligibility. Mobley was seen by many as the second best prospect in the 2021 NBA Draft behind Cade Cunningham. Well, he ended up being selected 3rd overall in the 2021 NBA Draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs drafted Mobley to pair him with Jared Allen in what would become one of the NBA's best defensive frontcourts. Right away, his defensive impact was undeniable. He helped the Cavs become an elite defensive team. Mobley's ability to guard multiple positions, protect the rim, and disrupt passing lanes made him a game changer. His defensive versatility allowed Cleveland to build a strong identity around him. Now they could use multiple various defensive schemes, making them a super difficult team to play against. Mobley averaged 1.7 blocks per game, leading all rookies in that category. His outstanding performances earned him a spot on the NBA All-Rookie First Team. Mobley ended up finishing as the runner-up in the Rookie of the Year race, narrowly missing the top spot by 15 points, the smallest margin since the awards voting format began in 2002-2003. His rookie season showed just why he was so highly spoken about during the draft. He was a player that was mature way beyond his years, someone who has the ability to become a future Defensive Player of the Year. With him and Allen, the Cavs knew they had the foundation for future success. By his second season, Mobley had already made a name for himself as one of the NBA's best defenders. He was the runner-up for the Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. He finished 3rd in the voting behind Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brook Lopez. He led the league in defensive win shares and became the youngest all-defensive first-team selection in NBA history at 21 years and 295 days old. Only Kobe Bryant had achieved this honor at a younger age, beating Mobley by 71 days during the 1999-2000 season. Mobley's combination of lateral quickness, rim protection, and switchability drew comparisons to great modern defenders like Kevin Garnett and Anthony Davis. Kevin Garnett had actually spoken very highly of Mobley, stating that Mobley does remind him of himself. The skills are certainly there. Mobley just needs to match the meanness and tenacity that Garnett used to play with. In that 2023 season, Mobley averaged 1.5 blocks per game, ranking among the league leaders again. He also averaged 9 rebounds per game. Having someone that can pretty much guard 1 through 5 while being super intelligent in disrupting passing lanes is incredible. This is a guy that 1 second can be defending a center, then the next second be perfectly fine defending a shifty guard all by himself. This is why his advanced stats continue to creep up across the board, from player efficiency rating to win shares per minute to true shooting percentage. He is by far and away one of the most impactful defenders in the league. While Mobley has already made his mark as a defensive star, his offensive game is still evolving. He is now beginning to show a soft touch around the rim, good passing instincts, improved post moves, and a growing mid-range game. Having said that, his three-point shooting still remains a work in progress, and many believe his leap to superstardom hinges on expanding that part of his game. It is an area that he is actively working on though. Mobley is now taking 3.3 three-point attempts per 36 minutes, up from the 1.4 in each of his first 3 years. Even without a reliable 3, he was dominating in the playoffs. On May 10th, 2024, in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals, Mobley scored a then playoff career high 21 points, along with 10 rebounds and a playoff career high 5 assists in a win against the Celtics. Even though the Cavs lost the series in 5 games, Mobley put up 33 points in the closeout loss. This was a great sign of progress for Cavs fans, because it showed that Mobley has the potential to get so much better offensively. We have seen it already in the 2025 season, where he scored a career-high 41 points on 16 of 23 shooting and 6 of 8 from 3 in a win over the Hornets. He then became the second NBA player under the age of 25, after Kevin Durant, to record 40 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, 3 plus blocks, and 5 plus 3-pointers made in a game. These kind of numbers are why he was named as a reserve for the All-Star game. He's en route to a career-high 19 points per game on a career-most 12.7 shots, 9 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks this season. He has made the opponents take notice that he is indeed a bigger, tougher version of his former self. Mobley got a little stronger, a little bigger, Oklahoma City big man Isaiah Hartenstein said after facing Mobley. That's how you know you're getting better, when even your opponents are noticing your progress. While there are clearly many similarities between Mobley and Kevin Garnett, I also see a lot of similarities between Mobley and Al Horford, another big that was coached by Kenny Atkinson. In Atkinson's last season with the Hawks, the 2015-2016 season, Horford jumped from barely shooting 1 3 per game to attempting 3.1 per game. Funny enough, from that point on, Horford never stopped shooting threes, consistently averaging 5 or more threes each season. We are now seeing a similar development in Mobley. In a match against Indiana, Mobley made 3 of the 4 threes he attempted, giving him 105 3-point attempts in 37 games, more attempts than in any of his first 3 years. It's a great sign for Cavs fans. Mobley adding a 3-point shot to his repertoire will make it much easier for him and Allen to coexist in the Cavs starting lineup, because Allen is a 6'10" center who does not shoot threes. The long-held theory was playing 2 non-shooting bigs together would suffocate the Cavs' floor spacing, which is paramount for success in the modern NBA offense. And this isn't just a theory, it was proven in previous playoff matches and even in some regular season games. Mobley and Allen together takes away the space for Garland and Mitchell to attack the basket. Opposing defenses need to respect Mobley's 3-point shot enough to send a defender out to him on the perimeter. You see the new offensive system working, with the Cavs now having the league's top-rated offense and shooting a better percentage from 3 than anyone else in the league. This is because they play much differently under Atkinson than they did under Bickerstaff. Atkinson uses Mobley like a point forward. He puts the ball in Mobley's hands much more often at the start of possession and incorporates cutting and screenings away from the ball so that Mobley has options to pass to. This not only helps Mobley get better offensively, but it creates a fluid attacking style that isn't reliant on Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to score all the points. If Mobley can continue to be this good shooting from 3 and get even better, then the Cavs offense, it's going to be unstoppable. Then of course, there's Darius Garland. Darius Garland's 2022-23 season was one filled with hardship and setback. He missed 25 games due to an unrelenting series of injuries, the most severe being a broken jaw that required surgery. Even after he was cleared to return, the effects lingered. He had lost 15 pounds during recovery, dramatically impacting his ability to produce at the level the Cavaliers were accustomed to. His shooting suffered, his confidence wavered, and his usual decisiveness on the floor disappeared. The once smooth, electric playmaker seemed hesitant and out of sync. For a player who had consistently averaged 20 plus points per game while shooting nearly 40% from 3, the drop-off was undeniable. Watching Garland struggle was a reminder of how much injuries can derail a season, not just physically, but mentally. The frustration, the self-doubt, and the weight of expectation all compounded, making last season one of his toughest battles. As Garland worked his way back, there was a lingering dissatisfaction surrounding both his individual play and the Cavs' overall performance. Cleveland had high expectations heading into last season, but inconsistencies in the roster and injuries prevented them from making a deep playoff run. The lack of offensive cohesion led to moments where the team looked completely lost. Garland himself, struggling to regain his form, became a target for criticism. Some question if he could ever reclaim his previous level of play. Frustration brewed among fans and analysts as the team's potential felt wasted. The failure to capitalize on their talent led to a reassessment. Something needed to change. The Cavs couldn't afford to repeat past mistakes, and neither could Garland. With an off-season to recover and reflect, the team was determined to eliminate the inefficiencies that plagued them, setting the stage for a fresh approach. The noise surrounding Garland last season wasn't just about the team, it was personal. Critics pointed to his struggles and questioned his ability to lead as Cleveland's primary playmaker. Some even suggested the Cavs might be better off without him. That narrative didn't sit well with Garland. For a player who had already proven he could be an elite scorer and facilitator, hearing doubts about his impact only fueled his fire. The frustration wasn't just external, it was internal. Garland knew he wasn't playing to his potential, and that ate away at him. The offseason became a mission. He regained his strength, worked on his shot consistency, and fine-tuned his decision-making. He came into the season determined to remind everyone just how special he was. The anger transformed into motivation, and with it, Garland was ready to reclaim his status as one of the NBA's premier guards. Fast forward to the new season, and Garland looks different. He's sharper, quicker, and more confident. The hesitation from last year is gone. When he comes off a screen, there's no second guessing. He's letting it fly, and the results speak for themselves. His 3-point efficiency is at a career high, his true shooting percentage is the best it's ever been, and he's back to being a high-volume, high-impact scorer. More importantly, he's reading the game better than ever. His off-ball movement is more refined. His chemistry with Donovan Mitchell is clicking, and he's using his elite ball handling to carve up defenses. The work he put in during the offseason is showing in every possession. There's a sense of anticipation, not just for Garland, but for what this version of him means for the Cavs. With him back at full strength, the sky's the limit for Cleveland. What makes this season even more exciting is how Garland and Mitchell are thriving together. Last season, there were questions about how two high-usage guards could coexist. This season, those questions have been silenced. The duo has figured out their rhythm, balancing on-ball creation and off-ball movement in a way that maximizes both players. Garland is moving without the ball more than ever, getting open looks in the corner while Mitchell commands defensive attention. Meanwhile, when Garland is running the offense, Mitchell is spotting up for catch-and-shoot threes or cutting to the rim. The synergy between the two has elevated Cleveland's offensive ceiling. Watching them operate feels effortless. Garland's playmaking flow, Mitchell's scoring thrives, and the Cavs have become one of the most dynamic offenses in the East. This isn't just coexistence, it's a masterclass in offensive balance. Beyond the chemistry with Mitchell, Garland's own improvement is staggering. His confidence in his shot is back, and it's translating into elite efficiency. He's shooting at a career-best clip, knocking down deep threes with ease, and capitalizing on catch-and-shoot opportunities. His footwork is cleaner, his release is quicker, and his decision-making is sharp. There's no overthinking, just pure instinct and trust in his ability. His teammates are recognizing it too. Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen all benefit from Garland's ability to space the floor and manipulate defenses. The coaching staff has leaned into his strengths, optimizing his role to allow him to play freely and effectively. The respect and admiration for Garland's resurgence is evident. He's re-earned his status as one of the league's premier playmakers, and the Cavaliers are thriving because of it. With Garland playing at an elite level, Cleveland's expectations have shifted. They're no longer just a good team, they're contenders. But with that comes pressure. Can they sustain this level through the grind of an 82-game season? Can Garland continue to perform when the stakes are high? The Eastern Conference is loaded with talent, and teams like the Bucks, Celtics, and Sixers aren't going anywhere. The playoffs are a different beast, and this young Cavs core still has to prove they can win when it matters most. While the potential is undeniable, there's also uncertainty. Garland's ability to handle elite defenses, keep his efficiency up under playoff pressure, and navigate high-stakes moments will be tested. The road to the top of the East won't be easy, and the biggest challenges still lie ahead. One of the biggest surprises this season is how intentional and effective Cleveland's offensive adjustments have been. Garland is getting more corner threes than ever, nearly doubling his previous attempts. His off-ball movement has become a weapon, allowing him to find open shots effortlessly. Meanwhile, Mitchell has adapted to playing off Garland's facilitation, making their partnership seamless. The spacing, shot selection, and balance of responsibilities have turned what was once an experiment into one of the most potent backcourt duos in the league. The numbers don't lie. When both are on the floor, Cleveland's net rating skyrockets. This is no longer just a talented team with potential. This is a well-oiled offensive machine. What was once a question mark has turned into one of Cleveland's biggest strengths, setting up a future full of possibility. Darius Garland's journey over the past 2 seasons has been a testament to resilience, growth, and adaptation. From injury struggles and a season filled with uncertainty to a dominant resurgence, his story follows the classic arc of adversity and triumph. The physical setbacks, combined with a loss of confidence, made last season one of the most challenging of his career. However, rather than letting doubt define him, Garland rebuilt himself, both physically and mentally, over the offseason, coming back stronger than ever. What's most impressive about his return isn't just the raw numbers, but the way he's evolved his game. His efficiency is at an all-time high. His chemistry with Donovan Mitchell has never been better, and his decision-making is sharper than ever. He's no longer just a high-volume scorer and playmaker. He's a refined offensive weapon, capable of adapting to any role the Cavaliers need him to play. But with great success comes great expectation. As Cleveland solidifies itself as a legitimate contender, the pressure will only grow. Can Garland maintain this level of play in the playoffs? Can he be the driving force behind a deep postseason run? Those questions remain, but one thing is certain. He has the skill, mentality, and drive to answer them. What we're seeing now isn't just a bounce-back season. It's the emergence of a superstar in the making. Darius Garland's story is far from over, and if his growth this season is any indication, the best is yet to come. If a team's record reflects how good they are, then the Cavs, who keep dominating everyone, have to be seen as real contenders to win it all. And it would be a lovely way to show their dominance without LeBron James. To see how the Cavs rebuild the organization after his departure in 2018, you gotta check out this video right here.